Why, hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your host and guide, Solid Ironshield. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day in Middle-earth. This is what's been going on this season. It's been a pretty intense season. And again, I already told my group this, but we've had some craziness where I live in real life. A bunch of fires and blah, blah, blah. And it's been crazy. And work and stuff. And so I haven't been able to play as much as I wish I could be playing. But I'm still making some videos, and I still have been playing. Just not as much as I usually do. I usually put in an hour or so a day of the game. But basically what's been going on is here we are fighting a very powerful faction, which has pretty much been fighting the whole server. At the beginning of the season, this faction, and actually this faction, this lighter blue, it's really hard. I wish the colors weren't this close, but these are different factions. I don't know if you can tell. There's a slight difference in color. And then the purple one. So the purple and blue have kind of been allies here. And they were fighting on this side. Green was attacking, and this lighter blue one was coming down and attacking too. And we were attacking from the back. And this kingdom beat us all. And I don't know if you know, but a lot of this green kingdom, which has, I believe it is these two. There's the names of the ones of this kingdom in the green. And then, of course, our two groups fighting them. They're strong. They're really strong. Like, green is a really strong kingdom. There's a lot of players, you know. I'm sure there's some free-to-players on all the kingdoms too, but there's a lot of whales and krakens. I'm feeling like I might promote from a dolphin to a whale at some point just because I've played the game so long, but I haven't really... I have a very nice setup of gear over the last couple of seasons, so I haven't really put a lot of... I just put in coins that I earned, basically, into this as I play, kind of free-to-play now, even though I didn't start that way. I kind of did a little of everything. You guys know what I've been doing. I kind of like, I put in some and then, you know, and then I'll just earn the rest kind of thing. So that's why I always call myself a dolphin. Because like I have one or two really strong characters, but then I go up against some guy who has 10 or 12 just full decked out guys. And I'm like, well, the Kraken's about to eat the dolphin. So that's why I call myself a dolphin as a joke with that terminologies. But I definitely have a very powerful Gimli though. Very powerful Gimli. So I guess you could call him whale level. So basically, we've just been battling kind of back and forth and crazy, and there's been some tensions. It seems like everything's been pretty cordial and nice from what I know. We had a couple misunderstandings, I think, with stuff, but again, our leader's been doing a great job, like she always does. We've had a couple different, like, people take turns doing leadership in our group. Over the last few seasons to kind of give people breaks, because this game is super fun, but it does have a lot of and this word gets a negative rap, right? But there's a lot of political stuff, as in not being from our world political, right? We don't talk about that, but like in the game, right? Like, hey, we need to ally with this kingdom because these guys are attacking us from this side and they have way more players than us, blah, 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 that kind of stuff, right? Which is fun. A lot of people like that. And this game, you know, takes place over a kingdom battle will take place over 3 months, right? Real time. Just how it works. And that's kind of fun because it's like you're always got like, I don't know, it's just kind of like a giant risk board. You're playing with another several thousand players and they've got hundreds of these servers. So the game is very well popular. There's a lot of people who play it. But, you know, you do run into these big groups that you know when another season starts, depending on, you know, that kind of stuff. But it's been really fun. We've been having some crazy battles. Right now, I'm just kind of debating on where I'm going to set my base. I'm trying to find a spot. I'm thinking you have to travel. You can now put stuff right up against rivers. So I'm thinking I might try to fit in right here. Can I fit? Ooh, I might be able to fit right here. Oh, I like that. All right, so I'm going to try to take this spot right here. Unfortunately, I was going to take a spot, but my good friend here decided to take this spot. I'm teasing him if he sees this later. He wouldn't have known. I was just sitting here and I had to go leave, and then I came back the next morning and I would get a boom base here. But that's right. I built a fort and now I'm gonna move over there, and that's what I've been working on. I'm just trying to level up my characters. I'm so behind on levels. It's crazy. That's one thing in this game. You really do have to focus a lot in leveling things up as you go, and you really do have to, right when the season starts, you really need to play, because if you get behind, you have troubles getting tiles and stuff like that. And it could just get harder and harder. Thankfully, I've got a couple nice people. One guy gave me the 200 tile, thanks to him. because I have not been helping enough this season personally, in my own opinion. But Prince of Valor gave it to me. What a great, that was so nice. But I just asked if I could have it temporarily just to get the achievement done, because there's an achievement in the leaderboards things. But he's like, oh, you can keep it. So we've been working on all that. And yeah, so that's what's been going on this season. There's a season update for RiseToWar Legacy. I feel like a lot of us are like, we're just doing our best to kind of hold our own in the corner, at least. While everyone else is battling it out. I'm not quite sure why this purple and blue kingdom are now battling it out with this blue kingdom over here. I feel like this blue kingdom and purple and blue should just join us against this kingdom, because at the beginning, this kingdom was handling all of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us kingdoms against them. So I'm not quite sure why we turned it down to just the green and us battling for our lives. I mean, I think green's holding their own just fine, but our group is like, we've been trying our best here. Yeah, it's been fun though. I think this community in this game is actually pretty good. The world chat used to be a lot more salty in this game than it used to be. I feel like it's a lot better now. And as a side note, I keep getting a lot of people that make the comments that like, oh, I see the negative reviews, blah, blah, blah on it. You got to read when those negative reviews were added, guys. There was a lot of stuff around the 2.0 update thing that really made a lot of people mad, because not all of the 2.0 update was bad. Some of it was really good, but a lot of people didn't like it because of the change, right? Because it was a change, people didn't like it. And I understand. I totally get that, right? I get it. But, and there were things that I was like, I don't know if I wanted that changed. But now, the 2.0 unfortunately didn't feel quite finished. So it made a lot of people, not the whole community, but a lot of people stop playing and get frustrated. And unfortunately, with human nature, what happens is when people are happy, they don't leave reviews and they don't complain, or they don't leave any bonuses. When people are grumpy about something, they complain a lot. So that's what happened with the ratings, because you look, all the ratings are from a certain time. So if you're someone who plays and has fun, don't forget to throw a rating on the Google Play Store for the game. I just to counteract that a little bit, because we need more updated reviews on it, right? And again, this isn't me like, they're not paying me to say this, right? But I'm just saying, from realistic as a player of the game, I understand what happened, and I do get it. And I know some people probably still won't like it. But the bottom line is, don't listen to those negative reviews too much. Try it out a little bit free to play yourself. See how the game feels first, because it's really good now. A lot of those reviews are now outdated. They are not true. I went through and read some. In fact, I made a video on it, right? Why I think this is the best of this genre phone game. I went through and I literally on video read some of the top complaints, which were like 2 years old when that happened, the update, and I debunked a bunch of them. Like, well, this isn't the case anymore. Like, this one never was the case in the first place, right? A couple of them were just way out there. Some of them I was like, well, this is real, right? This made sense. And then some of them are like, yeah, this was right when that happened, but now it's, a year and a half, 2 years later, they've done a bunch of updates. It's really nicely, it almost feels more balanced now with the systems of having multiple commanders in one squad kind of thing. So my point is, take a grain of salt with those review things. A lot of them are old now. A lot of the updates they've done have made the game a lot better. There were definitely real things. There were absolutely some real things. But again, most of the things that were a big problem for me personally as a player and content creator of the game have been fixed. And they've made it better than it was in 1.0. I can say right now, after playing since the very beginning, this is my 17th season? So I've never stopped since the game came out. This 2.0 is now better than 1.0 was. Like, it's not even really objective, right? Now there's going to be some people who really nostalgic loved 1.0, and I am too. I liked 1.0. It was kind of felt like slightly a different game. They kept the core gameplay though still. It just, with doing the commander squadrons and changing how the movements worked and stuff, I think they were good updates now. I think they felt really hard and rigid when it happened because they were unfinished feeling. This is 2 years ago, but now it's really good. I do recommend the game, and I think it's really fun to play. Now, again, some people might ask me, well, is it, pay to win to an extent? That's this kind of genre. Yes, it is. Is it as bad as other genres? No. No, in fact, this is probably one of the most balanced of these genres I've ever played. Where, like, if you play free-to-play and you find a good fellowship, you can still have fun, you can still contribute, right? Sure, you go up against a Kraken player, 1v1, you're not going to win. But you can run around them, you can help your friend, you might have a friend in your fellowship who's really strong, so he can fight directly on that enemy, and you can go help fight the little armies or take the side tiles, right? So there's stuff you can still do to contribute and have fun, and as you play, there's a lot of stuff you can earn free-to-play as you're just consistent playing. And I've talked about this. My friend doing this game, and he's a big spender in phone games, and he dumped a big bunch of money, way more than I like had ever spent on the game, right? Like all together. And I was like, whoa, okay, all right, you just gotta dump a couple $1,000s there. And he's like, yeah, and he got up all this stuff, and he got good stuff, sure, but I still had like almost doubled the stuff, and I had spent less over the entire time, and that was because I had made and earned stuff as I've played over the last 17 seasons that he had not. So I had made and earned almost the same amount of money of like $5,000 in the game or something, right? Just by playing. So you can earn stuff as a free-to-play player. That's my point of telling you that. Absolutely. So, and granted, then I also have spent some over the last, like 2.5 years in the game. But again, nowhere near what my friend dumped in like 1 week. That's how I was like eyes popping. But anyway, he's great. He wants to play with me more, but you know, he's got work in life too. So, so anyway, my friends, there's my little spiel on that. That's how our season is going. It's pretty good. It's a hard season. It is. I mean, not gonna lie, it's hard. But we haven't had any direct like mean people, like in factions. I remember telling you guys like a year and a half ago we had this one faction. Oh, what was there? I forget what the guy's main leader's name is, but I have a video on it. I talked about it. I usually don't talk about things like that. I'm usually very, very positive, and I was still. But I just basically called them out. How horrible they were. That is not this season. Everyone's wonderful. But it was atrocious. I've never seen. Basically, if you remember what I said a long time ago, it was a group. This is many seasons ago. This is like over a year ago in real time. It was a group that they were mad. So how these factions and kingdoms work is they're multiple fellowships of like 100 people. So like this green one probably has like 300-400 players in it, like kind of like that, right? We all do. And most of it is groups of 100 that come in or less fellowship numbers, and then little people that join in randomly. Well, apparently there was a little group of like 2 or 3 randoms that this other kingdom, not this one you're looking at, this is the past, disliked from the previous season. So to punish those 3 people, they decided they would run over our whole team, even though we were being very diplomatic and playing. We're like, hey, can we just keep our capital so we can get points? Because at that time, it gave the enemy team no points to take the capital. It just hurt the other team. There was no bonus to the other team, which now there's kind of a bonus for taking it, so it makes more sense if someone's going to do that. Still, you don't see groups do that as much. But they just like ignored us, hundreds of us players, ran over everyone, took the capital just so those 3 players wouldn't get rewards, and it just hurt like 350 other players for no reason. And they were just vicious about it. They were just like mean and bad words, and it was like, wow. So if I ever find those people again, I definitely call them out. They probably all changed their names. Oh man, so funny. I even tried to talk to their main leader to be nice about it, and he was a total, what a lovely person. All right, moving on. So there you go, guys. There's a little fun, silly chat. Maybe hopefully I got some giggles out of you. Everything's great. Oh, by the way, Shady One is on the Otter team. He's awesome. I don't know what he's saying there though. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what that's even. I don't know what that means. But anyway, I've known Shady One for a long time. We seem to always get the same servers, even though we're on the same group. It's kind of hilarious. I think I know him from like season 2, and that was like literally 2 years ago as another player. So it's kind of fun to see original players. But again, throwing that out there. Try the game. It's not going to be for everyone, but I think a lot of you will still enjoy the game. And if you're someone that does, you can play the game free to play, right? And I get the whole thing with like some people struggle with maybe like wanting to spend money. I haven't spent really any money on the game like in the last like 6 months. Barely any. I've just earned stuff myself. You can do it that way. But I need people maybe that struggle with a little self-control, things like that. That's this phone genre game. I just stay away from that kind of genre of any phone game. But I still think this is really fun. I think it's neat that it's under New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers as one of their official phone games. It's not just some spin-off. They have all the rights from Warner Brothers. You see all the Lord of the Rings characters from Peter Jackson's trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy. And it's really cool. I really enjoy it. It's super fun in that way. And it's kind of like, now that I've learned to chill out in the game and just have fun with my friends, and that I'm in a group that's so chill if I disappear for 3 weeks, like I did because of real life things, it makes it a lot more like you're not stressed and worried to get on all the time or something. It's more like just fun thing. You're helping your team to, secure your kingdom. That's the goal. That's what's so fun. All right, guys. Have a great day. Thank you to my patrons for the support. Thank you, Red Podbeam Royal Guard. If that was fun, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. And over there's the next episode. And over there's LOTRO Tale. I do voiceovers in Lord of the Rings Online. Totally different game. I do a lot of Lord of the Rings content here. If it sounds fun to you, check out the next videos. Leave a comment, like. That all helps with the algorithm. You're the best. Stay happy. Baruch Hazard, Kuzan, I'm Menu.